Welcome to Saturday morning power yoga. Meet me at the mat. Here we are. Good morning, all y'all. It is the second Saturday in January, and here in Crestline, it's a very windy day. The great thing is, in this time where we can't do yoga face-to-face, we always have Zoom. So today is a power yoga class. I have no specific requests for poses, so I've been told, do what you want. So we're going to do kind of a free flow class, level 1, 2. So for yogis of all abilities, make sure you modify your poses in a way that works for you. Let's start off just sitting nice and tall, draw the crown of our head up, lift up our heart center, draw our shoulders down our back. Inhale our shoulders up to the ears. Exhale them back down. Oh, I just realized my little clock here fell off the thing again. The cats keep knocking stuff down. And the time of it is wrong anyway. I don't even know the time. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale them back down. And then inhale them up again. Exhale them back down. Inhale our hands out and up. Exhale them out and back down, drawing the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Inhale our hands out and up. And exhale them back down. Inhale out and up. Reach as high as you can for the ceiling with your hands as you draw your shoulders down. Really focus on finding where your shoulder blades are, strengthening your entire core and back. Take another inhale. And exhale, float your hands down. Let's start to warm up the spine, warm up the back of the body. It's so nice to get moving. All righty. So taking our tabletop position, let's inhale our heart center up as we lift up our sits bones, drawing the shoulders down the back. Exhale, reverse that, draw the belly button into the spine, curl our back towards the ceiling in cat. Inhale, drop the belly, draw the shoulders down, lift up the heart center, perhaps open up the throat as you lift up your sits bones. And then exhale, reversing all of that, drawing your back up to the ceiling, dropping the crown. Inhale, lift up the heart and cow, drop the belly, lift up the sits bones. And exhale, reverse all of that, drawing your back up to the ceiling. Inhale into our flat spine in tabletop again. Let's go into sunbird, lift up our left leg. We'll do it in stages. So initially just lift up the left leg, toes pointed towards the floor, draw the crown of your head forward as you draw your shoulders back and pull your belly button in. Take one more inhale, exhale, release that down. Let's do that with the right leg. Lift up your right leg, toes pointed towards the floor, draw your shoulders away from your ears, crown of the head moving forward. Draw the belly button in, strengthen your core muscles. One more inhale, exhale, drop that down. Now let's take the left leg up and raise up our right arm at the same time. As you have them lifted, reach your right hand forward as you reach your left heel back as far as you can, drawing the belly button in, creating as much length as you can as you strengthen your core muscles doing this. One more inhale, exhale. Drop both of those down, then lift up your right leg, lift up your left arm. Again, reaching your left heel back as far as you can, reaching your left hand forward as far as you can, drawing the belly button in, strengthening your core. Take one more inhale, reach. And then exhale, lower those down. So I have a challenge for you today. So there's a pose called tiger pose, where you reach back with your left hand to your left foot, balance on your right knee and your right hand. So if you need to kick out your right foot, go right on ahead, and then kick your left hand into your left foot into your left hand, and just lift it as high as you can, creating a back opener, but also a balancing at the same time. So you're balancing on your right knee, balancing on your right hand, kicking your left hand into your left hand, creating a little arch of the back, a little opening of the heart center. Take a nice inhale, exhale, slowly drop that down. Now let's try that on the other side. I'm going to turn my body so that you can see that. So you're going to balance on your left knee, balance on your left hand, kick up your right hand or right foot into your right hand, and then open up the body that way. And just keep on kicking it up, and kicking it up. Oops, see, I just fell out. It's not easy to balance on one side. There we go. But it's really cool because it allows you to really open up the body. Okay, take one more inhale and exhale. Lower that down. Let's go back into the cow-cats again. So inhale into cow, exhale into cat. Really opening up the spine. Inhale, lift up the heart center, draw the shoulders down, lift up the sit bones. Exhale, reverse all of that. And one more inhale, lift up the crown, draw the shoulders down away, and then exhale, reverse all of that. Let's sit back in child's pose briefly. Sit back on our heels and walk our hands forward to stretch out our lower spine. Create as much length as you are able to, reaching your hands forward, getting a nice stretch all along the front of the body. Always feel free to return to child's pose. If ever, our yoga gets too fast, you lose touch with your breath, you need to take that break. It's your practice. You do whatever you want. Okay, lift up, take our left hand and weave it underneath our right hand and lay across our left shoulder. So we're threading the needle, threading our left arm underneath our right arm. Stretching out the back of the shoulder while we do that. Take another inhale. Exhale, take our left hand forward, take our right hand and thread it underneath our left arm and lay across our right shoulder on the floor. Let's take one more collective inhale. Fully exhale. And then reach our hands out to the side. Move up into tabletop again and lay down. So with our hands out to the side, let's do some heart openers. So let's draw the shoulders back and down. Have the elbows pressing out to the sides as we push our shoulder blades together. And then inhale our heart up, just feeling that opening of the chest. Exhale, lowering it down. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, lift up the chest, lift up the heart. Exhale, lowering it back down. And then inhale again, draw the shoulder blades together, hands spidered, arms out, lift up the heart center. Exhale down. And then let's take Sphinx pose and just really focus on drawing the heart center up, drawing the shoulders down, lifting up the heart center. Drawing up the crown, just really feeling all of those muscles in your back engaging. And then if you want to, you can leave your hands in place and you can straighten out your elbows and even increase that stretch even more along the front of the body, lifting up the heart center as you kind of draw your hands back, leaving them in place, but isometrically drawing your heart center forward as you bring your hands back, really increases that stretch all on the front of your body. Take another inhale, and then exhale, go ahead and lower back down. Now we're going to go into some sun salutations. So lift up the body, move back into child's pose, lift up into downward facing dog. Just initially do a downward dog with deeply bent knees, pushing our hips back in space. And just hang out there for a moment. You don't have to straighten your legs. Just get used to that experience of opening up the shoulders and having a nice long line from your tailbone all the way to your wrist. And then gently walk your hands up to, your feet up to your hands rather. And when you arrive at the top of the mat, just hang there in ragdoll initially. Maybe grab both sides of your elbows and just start to open up the back of the legs. This is our first movement of the day, so we might be kind of stiff. It's okay to honor that. More importantly, try not to overstretch your lower spine. So make sure you bend those legs deeply. Don't be afraid to bend them nice and deeply. And maybe weave back and forth. Maybe you have your hands on the floor. You can still clasp your elbows, whatever works for you. Allow your head to hang heavy. Take all tension out of the neck. And then slowly bend the legs deeply and curl the spine up. Allow your hands to hang heavy while you're doing this. And then when you arrive at the top and your legs are straight, inhale your shoulders up to your ears. As you exhale, lift up your heart center, draw your shoulders down, find your way into Tadasana. Standing here in Tadasana in the standing mountain pose, draw the belly button up and in, allow your tailbone space to float down, drawing your shoulders back and down, hands pointed forward. And just feel the length that you've created here as you draw the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Feel your nice, long, strong spine. Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them down. And then one more inhale, hands up. Exhale, bend your legs as we swan dive forward, folding over your thighs. Drop your crown. Place your hands on your shins. Inhale into a flat spine, drawing the shoulders down. Exhale down. And if you have blocks, take them and let's use them as we go into our sun salutations. We're going to do the first ones modified. So bring our right foot back and drop our knee. Take our blocks back in alignment with our shoulders. Inhale our heart center up, lifting up and out of that hip. And then exhale, place the blocks down, place your hands down, move back into plank. Lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into low cobra. Tuck your toes, move back into child's pose, and rise up into downward facing dog. Push your dog back on your inhale. On your exhale, bring your right foot forward. Drop your left knee using your blocks. Hold them underneath your waist or underneath your shoulders rather. Inhale your heart center up, lift up and out of the hip. And then exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Take left foot to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your blocks. Take your left foot back again. Drop your knee. Inhale, lifting up the heart center. Lifting up and out of that hip. Exhale, drop your blocks, place your hands down. Move your right foot back to join the left. Instead of doing a full chaturanga, let's drop our knees. Bring our elbows into the heart center. Drop the chest, drop the chin, and inchworm. Inhale forward into low cobra. Rise up. Exhale, tuck your toes. Move back into downward facing dog. You can have deeply bent legs. I always say that funny. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, bring your left foot forward. Drop your right knee. Lift up the heart center. Lift up and out of that hip. And then exhale. Take right hip foot to join the left. Rise up into that half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. You can choose the blocks or you can choose just your hands on the floor now. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Let's take our right foot back and drop our knee again. And instead of using the blocks, I'm going to raise up my hands. Inhale, lift up the hands. Exhale, perhaps start to move your hips forward as you draw your shoulders back and down, moving your arms back in alignment with your ears. Inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Move back into plank pose. Drop the knees, drop the elbows, drop the chin and chest. Inhale through in low cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, moving back through child's pose. Lift up into downward facing dog. Exhale, bring your right foot forward. Drop your left knee. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, lower the shoulders as you draw your arm bones back and move your hips forward. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take left foot to join right. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up and exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take our left foot back. Drop the knee. Inhale, lift up your hands. Exhale, move your hips forward as you draw your arms back and down. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down. Moving back into plank. Drop the knees, draw the elbows in. Drop chin and chest and inchworm. Inhale forward into low cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Move back through child's pose. Rise up into downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, take your left foot forward. Drop your right knee. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, draw the shoulders down as you move your hips forward. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Lift up the knee. Take right foot to join left. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So now we're going to do the next ones using a high lunge instead of low. But if you want to keep doing the knee to the floor low lunge, feel free. That modification is completely, totally acceptable. So inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Swan dive forward. Drop our crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take our right foot back into the high lunge or low if you prefer. Inhale, rising our hands up. Exhale, bend the left leg more deeply as we draw the arms back and draw the shoulder blades down. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take left foot back to join right. Lower chaturanga dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, pull the belly button in as you move into downward facing dog. If you want to take modifications for all of that, it's totally acceptable. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right foot forward into that lunge and then rise up on the inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee more deeply. Draw the shoulders down, draw the belly button in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take left foot to join right. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Drop the crown. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop the crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take our left foot back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink lower. Draw the shoulders down. Lift up the heart center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Right foot back to join left. Lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, draw the belly button in, moving in to downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, take our left foot forward. Rise our hands up. Exhale, sink our left knee deeper. Opening up that right hip, lifting up our heart center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle down. Take right foot to join left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So now we're going to start and end the next sun salutation using chair pose. Chair pose is a great way to warm up the legs, really help open up the muscles once they are warmed up. So let's get started. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, sit back like you are sitting in a chair, moving your weight into your heels. Fingertips touch the floor. Torso is laying across the thighs as your knees are deeply bent. Inhale, rise up the heart center. Rise up the hands. Hold this for 2 breaths. Draw your belly button in. Allow your tailbone to float to the floor. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, rise up into a half spine or flat back rather. Exhale, drop your crown. Take your right foot back into warrior 1 positioning of the legs. So heel is on the floor, toes are pointed forward. Inhale, rise up. Go ahead and adjust your feet in any way that works for you so that you have the right alignment in this pose and you feel strong and stable in your base. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take left foot back to join right, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, moving into downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. Fully exhale. Inhale, take the right foot forward, setting up for warrior 1 on that side. Rise up. Exhale, draw the shoulders down. As you lift up your heart center, drawing your belly button in. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. 1 more inhale. Exhale, circle the hands down. Take right foot to join left. Stay in chair. Inhale, rise up. Hold chair for 3 breaths. One more inhale. Fully exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take a moment to get into the breath, assess how you feel, because that's kind of early on in the routine to do those deep knee bends. A lot of blood gets pumped when we use those thigh bones, those thigh muscles. Take another inhale. Exhale fully. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, bring our hips back again into that chair pose, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, rise up our hands. Exhale, swan dive forward, straightening out your legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take it back into Chaturanga Dandasana. lower. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, moving it into downward facing dog. Take a nice breath. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift up your leg, your right leg. Lift it up as high as you want. Bend your knee, point your toe, moving it back, opening up the right side, stacking our right hip over our left. Take another inhale. Exhale, straighten that out. Take knee to nose and move our foot all the way through and lower our left heel as we go into warrior one. Inhale our hands up. And then exhale, open that up into warrior two. So in warrior two, draw your right knee out towards your pinky toes. Engage these muscles on your spine on either side of your sacrum and use the muscles on the outside of your right leg to draw it out further to open up that hip. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Now let's do a little bit of strengthening. On your next inhale, lift up your right knee and lift up your right heel and bend your right knee more deeply. Inhale. Exhale, return that back down. Inhale, lift up the heel, bend the right knee more deeply. Exhale, return it back to normal. And then one more. Inhale, lift up the heel, bend the knee more deeply. And then on your exhale, return it to normal. And then let's move backwards into our peaceful warrior. Bending our right knee deeply, sinking those hips. Take a nice inhale, reach. And then exhale, let's move into a flowing into extended side angle. So draw the right hand down, left hand overhead, and then inhale, rise up, go back into peaceful warrior. Exhale, bring the right hand down as we bring our left hand overhead, moving into extended side angle, and then rise up into peaceful warrior. And then exhale again, bring our left hand towards our left hip or right hand towards our left hip, left hand overhead as we go into extended side angle, rise up into warrior two, straighten out our legs. Turn both feet forward. And what we're gonna do is just move into warrior one on the left side. So on the left side, we've got both of our heels on the floor. Left toes are pointed forward towards the back of your mat. Right toes are pointed forward at a 45-degree angle. Lift up your hands. Bend your left leg. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, open up into warrior two on the left side now. So remember, you're bending your left leg deeply, drawing your pinky toes or your knee back towards your pinky toes. Inhale, lift up your left heel, bend your left leg more deeply. Exhale, lower that down. Inhale, lift up the heel, bend the left leg more deeply. Drop the heel on the exhale. Inhale, lift up the heel, bend the knee more deeply. Exhale, reduce it back down. Inhale, moving back into peaceful warrior. Enjoy the stretch. Bend your left knee deeply so that your hips sink deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, moving into that extended side angle. So draw the left hand towards the right hip bone. Draw our right arm overhead alongside our ear. Rise up on the inhale. And then exhale back into peaceful warrior. Inhale, move into that extended side angle, drawing our left hand towards our right hip as we bring our right hand overhead. Rise up and move into that peaceful warrior. Exhale, moving into that extended side angle again. Rising up into peaceful warrior. And then exhale, hands to Warrior two arms, straighten out the left leg, move both toes forward, place our hands on our hips. Let's initially just rise up our heart center, draw the elbows back, lift up the heart, draw the shoulders back and down. On your exhale, keep your sit bones floating up to the sky as you lower down into a forward fold, leading with the heart. Continue to draw your elbows on to the back, close together, drawing your shoulder blades close together. So for now, just move into this forward fold as deeply as your body will naturally allow you to go, keeping your shoulder blades together. Now you can place your hands on the floor. Inhale into a flat spine. As you exhale back down, draw your elbows back, draw your shoulder blades together on your back. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. And let's do that again, drawing the elbows back. Drop your crown. And let's walk over to our right foot. Turn our body that way. So turn our right toes forward. Continue to move the body into the right direction and go into warrior one feet again. But now we're setting up for pyramid pose. So now you should be facing your right toe. Right leg is straight, left leg is straight. Inhale your crown of your head forward, and then exhale, start to fold over that right leg. And you may not go far. I'm a little stiff this morning. That's okay. What's more important is the movement and the alignment of the movement. We're going to just breathe one more cycle in this. Inhale, fully exhale. Inhale, rise up, place both toes forward, moving to the center again, hands in the middle of the mat. Inhale the crown of your head forward. Exhale, straightening down as we forward fold, leading with the heart. Drop the crown. Inhale, rise up. Now let's walk our hands to the left. Turn our left toes towards the back of the mat. Move our right toes in alignment with those as we set up for pyramid pose again on the left side. Inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. Exhale, start to draw your heart center down to your leg. Go for what it feels like, not necessarily what it looks like. Focus on principles of alignment. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, walk your hands to the center of the mat again. Both toes pointed forward. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhaling down, drawing our shoulders onto our spine, dropping our crown. And then inhale, place our hands on our hips and rise up. Now, since we're here, let's take goddess. So first, move into star. Both of our toes are pointed out. Have your legs as wide apart as works for you. And then bend your legs like you're doing warrior two on both sides, drawing your knees out towards your toes. Draw your heart center up and back. Maybe drop your hands down to your tops of your thighs to remind you of your alignment, moving your weight back into your heels. You saw that I moved back a little too far. Draw your shoulder blades together, maybe taking those goddess arms. And just see how low can you sink safely. And while you're sinking, make sure that your knees are not trailing in. So continuing to draw your knees outward, creating space for that tailbone to move down. So you should feel the muscles on your gluteus muscles. You should feel them working. Take another inhale. Fully exhale, and then inhale, rise up into star. Exhale, hands to the waist, and let's move our feet in. Whew, that was kind of work. All right, so I'm thinking that a few standing poses sounds like a good order for today. What do you think? You'll say yes to everything I offer. You always do. Let's start off with tree, because tree is a nice way to connect with our balance. So with our hands on our waist, take our right knee forward, turn it out to the side. And you can pick your variation. Remember, you can have your toe on the floor, pointed towards the floor, but not touching it, wrapped around the calf, or if you desire, all the way up your leg. Today, my feet are a little bit cold, so they're kind of slipping. So we'll see how this works for me. So if you're up the leg, one trick is to push the foot into the leg into the foot to create stability. Then draw your shoulders down and draw them back. Inhaling the hands up. Take whatever hand variation you want. I'm sliding. Hold on a minute, I need to readjust. My foot is definitely sliding down these pants. Okay, here we go. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so take whatever variation you want, but make sure you're lifting up and out of the hips. And by doing so, you create stability. You create you're creating like Tadasana on one leg. I'm going to take my hands backwards into reverse prayer. That's the kind of mood I'm in today. But you can do whatever you want. Oh, I'm sliding out again. I guess I don't have the balance that I normally have today. I think it's because I can't hold my foot in place. There we go. All righty. See, that leg wants to just slide. So I'm just going to go to my thigh, to my calf. And then raise our hands back up again. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Drop the right leg. And let's do it on the left side now. So shake it out a little bit. Feet together. Point your left knee forward. Turn it out to the side. Draw your foot against the ankle. First toes to the floor, or toes pointed towards the floor, or wrapped around the calf. Or let's see how my leg behaves on this side. This side seems to be holding better. I'm not sure what the issue was on the other side. Lift up our hands. Grow out of our tree trunk. So lifting, lifting, lifting up and out of that hip. You can pick any arm variation you want. So I'm going to go back again for that reverse prayer on the back and see how I do today. I left my glasses downstairs, so everything's a bit of a blur on the camera right now. A reminder that I still need them. All righty. Oop, I'm starting to lose that balance again. Maybe it's the wind. Okay, take a nice inhale. Exhale, let's bring our hands up overhead. And then exhale them down to heart center. Gently release that left leg. Go ahead and shake things out. So I think that opening up the hips is always good, and doing it in standing poses is kind of fun. So let's do a seated chair pose. Seated chair pose is great because it prepares us for advanced arm balance poses. Not that I've been teaching those online, but it's something we could explore at some point. Okay, so go ahead and find your Tadasana, right? Take your right foot and cross it over your left knee. And then sit back as if you are in chair. Because you are. All right. You can keep your hands the way they are. You can bring them up overhead. But the more deeply you sit, the more you open up that right hip, and the more you increase the strength of your left leg. So it's a win-win. You have the option to go into a bind by folding even more forward and clasping your hands together underneath your knee. So that's the variation I am taking. And I can hold this for a long time. You hold it as long as you feel like you can. Because the longer we're in it, the more we crouch down, the more we open up that right hip. That's a glorious thing. Let's inhale, rise our hands up. And then drop our right leg, exhale our hands down. Now, second side, easy side, right? So let's cross our left ankle over our right knee, on top of it, not right on the knee, of course. And then start to bend your right leg as you sit back in your imaginary chair behind you. All right, so I'm getting a nice opening on the right hip. I can sit back more, raise up our hands. That's one variation. Or if you want to take the bind, you just curl down. Wrap your hands underneath your right knee, behind the leg, and just curl into it. And the more you bend the right leg and the more you curl into it, the more you have an opening of your left hip. And then inhale, let's rise up. Exhale, bring our hands down, drop our foot, shake it out, and say to yourself, you did good work. That's not always easy. Okay, so I also think that going into dancer pose sounds really lovely today. We kind of did a dancer type move when we were in tiger pose on the floor. So go ahead and lift up your toes and lower them on your left side. Place your left hand on your left hip bone. Lift up the heart center. Reach back and grab your right foot. So I think what I'm going to do is turn to the side so that you have a better view of how we move into the pose. Okay, and so I've got my hand on the inside of my foot. My toes are wrapped around the top of it. So initially, create your base by drawing your knees together, drawing your shoulders back, drawing the belly button in, getting stable in the standing of the pose. You can stay here if you want to, or you can take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, start to move your heart center forward as you kick your right leg up and back and move your hand out. This is also called bow. Hold this for one more breath. And then exhale, return back to standing and gently lower that leg. So now I'm going to turn the other side so you can see it on the other side. So go ahead and take a nice cleansing breath. Inhale. And then fully exhale. Reach back, left hand to left foot. Draw your knees together. Draw the belly button up, draw the shoulders back and down. Create your stable foundation. Now this time, take your arm up alongside your right ear. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, start to kick your left foot back as you draw your heart center down. There we go. Feel that extension. Take another inhale. And then exhale, rise up. Drop your foot, drop your leg, your hand with control. Ah! Feel that. I love standing poses. They make me feel so invigorated. They make me feel so strong. So we're going to do one final one. This one's especially good for the heart, to raise up your heart rate. They call it the heart attack pose. You know what this one is. This is when we go into warrior three, but we go very slowly. So I'm going to move to the side so that you can see it. Okay. So first, find Tadasana. Inhale your hands up and overhead. Now, if you want to use the wall, use your bed, use the chair, feel free to do that for the support. But I'm going to do it entirely without support. So I'm going to create the church and steeple with my hands, right? So my fingertips are pointed forward, my arms are straight, my arm bones are being drawn back, my belly button is in, my feet are together, My heart is lifted. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, place your right foot behind you, but you're supporting your body entirely on your left leg. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, you start to lift up the leg as you move your heart center and your arms and hands forward, going for a continuous long line. Lift up out of the left hip as you move in so you're not sinking into that hip. And then when you arrive at the T, create extension. Hold it for one breath. And then exhale, let's go ahead and rise up. Place our foot back, drop our hands. Feel that heart rate. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn my body this way so that you can see my standing legs facing the screen. Now, I'm going to clasp my hands in the opposite direction of what they were before. So before it was my right index finger in the front. This time it'll be my left index finger, and then I'll create the steeple with my two hands, or my two thumbs rather. So inhale my hands up, lifting, 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 creating nice strong Tadasana. Take the left foot back. All of your weight is supported in the right leg. Take a nice inhale and reach. And then exhale, start to move into that warrior three. Drawing the arms forward and down, drawing the heart forward and down, lifting up your left leg. Make sure you lift up out of the right hip. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale. Bring it back up. Float your hands down. Whew. And then turn to the front. Take a nice inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale your hands down. Let's take a couple of camels before we move into some floor maneuvers. So drop to your knees, rising up. Let's take our first camel with just our hands at our lower back, fingers pointed down. Inhale the heart center up, draw the shoulders down, lift, lift, lift. And then on your exhale, curl your back, your upper back, as you lift up your heart center, drawing your elbows together, drawing your shoulder blades together. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, sit back on your heels, fold over your legs in child's pose. Allow your hands to float down, catch your breath, and stretch out your back gently. And then inhale, rise up. Bring your hands up and overhead. And then take whichever variation you want. So let's start initially with one-legged variation. So take our right hand down to our right heel. Take our left hand up and just move into camel on the one side. Just reaching that left hand up, feeling the strength of the pose. Inhale, rise up, bring both hands overhead. And then let's tuck our left toes, bring our left hand back to our left heel, lift up our right hand as we move into camel. Take one more inhale, exhale, bring both hands up. And then on your exhale, if you want to, you can continue with one of those variations, or you can do what I'm doing, bring both hands down, lift up the heart center, move the hips slightly forward, curl your upper back, drop your head if you want to. Take another inhale, and then exhale, tuck the chin, draw the belly button in, sit back down, as we move into child's pose again. Very nice. Inhale, rise up. Rise up on your knees one more time. And I'm going to take the greatest extension of the pose, but you can choose one of the other two earlier variations. So inhale your hands up. And then I'm going to exhale my hands down. My feet are flat on the floor. My fingers are on my heels. And then I'm going to lift up my heart center as I move my hips forward and curl my upper back, arching the upper back, and then dropping my crown backwards, opening up the throat. One more inhale. Exhale, draw chin to chest, draw the belly button in. Sit back down on your heels, fold forward into child's pose. And maybe this time reach our hands out in front of us. Let's rise up and let's take hero pose since we're down here on the floor. As you know, we try to have hero in every single practice. So moving our feet out to either side of our hips, keeping our knees together. Sits bones on the floor. If you can't reach the floor with your sits bones, feel free to have your blocks underneath you. And it's good, as we've talked about, to have nice deep knee bends at each practice to the degree that you can tolerate them. So you can always sit up on a block if this is too difficult for you. And you can use this time to kind of massage your thighs, maybe massage your feet. Whatever it is you need to do. All righty. Now I have a real treat for you today. If you feel that you can handle it, if you can't, we don't need to do that. But we're gonna move on to our sits bones. And we're gonna take what's called fire log pose or full pigeon. So when we do pigeon, where the leg is extended in the front and the left leg is extended behind, that's really just half pigeon. Full pigeon is actually when both of your shins are facing the front of the mat. So we start off with one knee out to the side. I'm starting with my left on the bottom. Flex your toe, okay? And then take your other and stack the right ankle on top of that knee. And so what you're doing between your legs is you're creating a triangle and you're having your shins face one another. So this can be a challenging pose, but honestly, it's a beautiful hip opener. And you don't have to have this right knee touch that right leg. That's not necessary for this pose to be effective. That's something that happens as your hip opens more and more. So sitting here as I am right now, because we've done so much hip opening today, I actually don't feel discomfort, and I'm ready to just allow my hip to work its way down as it's ready. So if you find this difficult, you can just go back into easy seated pose or Sukhasana, or you can take bound angle pose and place the soles of your feet together and allow your hips to open up that way. But this is actually, believe it or not, one of my favorites because it's really good for opening up the hips equally. Some people fold forward in it. I can today because my hips are nice and open. So I'm always careful. If I feel it in the knee, that's a sign that my hip is not ready. But this is a nice pose to help us prepare to eventually go into lotus. Full lotus is tough on the hips. And you really can't move into it unless you've got sufficient hip openness and rotation to be in it. So this is a nice pose to prepare our hips for that. So if you want to, you can start to fold your body in, moving your head forward. My back is a little bit rounded. It's kind of impossible not to in this pose. But the hip opening right now is all on the right side for me. And as you see, when I folded forward, my hip actually ended up going down. So, so my hips might be more open than I think, but when I rise up, it's a greater challenge to keep it down. So I'm still working on opening up these flexors on this side. And, you know, the really flexible yogis can like have their heart center all the way down, touching the floor, folding forward. They're amazing, but I'm not there yet. The nice thing about yoga is it's not about that. Yoga is about knowing your own body and knowing what you can do in your body and using it to learn about yourself, learning it as a metaphor for recognizing what our limitations are and honoring them, or knowing what we're working towards and honoring that, and being patient with our body, being patient with our spirits, being patient with us in general in all things in life. These things remind us that we need to do that. You know, remembering the concept of ahimsa, do no harm. As we go into these challenging poses, how can you begin to move into them without doing harm to the body? Which also becomes like a metaphor for greater life. How can we live on our existence without doing harm to ourselves or other people in a variety of ways? So yoga is a wonderful metaphor for daily living. So let's work our way out of this pose, and we're going to change sides. So I urge you to move slowly. So now I'm going to lay my right leg on the ground, flex my right toes, lift up my hips a little bit so my sit bones are in nice contact with the floor, and then I'm going to cross my left leg or my left ankle over my right knee. Now, because I'm not open yet on this side, it's going to take a little while for that left knee to float down, and that is okay. It just takes a while. Patience is needed in this pose. So this is also called fire log pose. You can only imagine why, because you probably feel like you're on fire when you're doing it. But it just truly becomes one of my favorites. So sitting here with patience, recognizing what your limitations are. You might even feel that it's even further opening your right hip because you're pushing down on that right knee with your left foot. So, you know, it's sometimes hard to find the right position of where you want to put your foot. In my experience, my ankle bones kind of dig into my foot, but that's okay. Now, if you want to, you can start to fold into it. And that may or may not work for you. So you judge what your body needs based on what you feel. But when you fold forward, that's when you really get that opening of the back of the left hip. But again, gauge how you feel. You should not feel a lot of pain. You should feel like you're pushing the edges. And when you feel like you've moved into the territory of pain, I say just back off. Don't stress your body out. Know what your limitations are. You're the expert on your own body. Now, as you see, I've almost narrowed the gap between my knee and my foot here on the left side. So as we do this pose with greater frequency, we definitely open up those hips. And we just have to have patience with it. We hold this the same way we hold the other pigeon poses. It can be pretty crazy though. All right, so let's release out of that very gently. Place your feet in front. And with a little bit of support, maybe push your knees together. And I'm going to take a final Baddha Konasana since my hips were so open. This allows the inside hip flexors now to open more. All right, now let's move into recline twists. So just spin your feet to the right or the left so that you're on the, so your feet are facing the short side on one side and your head the short side on the other. And go ahead and lay down. Right now, my knees are bent, my feet are on the floor. Let's hug our knees. Let's take a nice hug of the knees. Draw the nose into the knees. Hug, 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 nice and tight. And then release that. Drop your knees to the right. Maybe place your right hand on top of your left knee to increase that stretch along the top of your left hip. And just enjoy this reclined spinal twist. We're moving into the cooling phase of our practice today. We've already been at it an hour. An hour goes quickly when you're having fun. And then let's draw our knees up to the chest again. Hug them nice and tight. And then let's go to the other side. Dropping them to the left. Keep our right shoulder tucked on the floor. Place our left hand on top of our right knee. Really encouraging and opening. While I let all the cats out, and now I can hear that one of them has been let in. Either that or else Steve is really that loud outside of the window meowing away. He's a loudmouth, that one. He's a yeller. He's funny. Oh. Take a nice inhale. Fully exhale. Let's bring our knees back up again. One final hug of the knees. And then exhale, release them down. And let's move into Shavasana. Everybody's favorite time. So in Shavasana, find a way to get comfortable. Maybe you want to lift up your hips and shake them out so that your sacrum finds firm contact with the floor. Allow your legs to relax. Allow your feet to splay out. Maybe adjust your shoulders a little bit so that they are underneath. Your shoulder blades are underneath your shoulders and you've got space for your upper back and your neck. Palms facing towards the sky, the ceiling. And let's start to inhale and exhale through our nose, slowing down the breath. And as you do this, start to draw attention to all the parts of your body, scanning, looking for places where you may feel stuck. Starting with the crown of your head, the crown chakra, color of white, often visualized as the 1,000-petal lotus. Release any energy you might be holding. Imagine any energy you have just kind of releasing out of the top of your head or down. Moving your attention towards your forehead, smoothing out all of the lines, relaxing your eyebrows, And softly keeping your eyes closed, relaxing your eyes into the eye socket. Continuing to move down past the bridge of the nose to the upper cheeks. Release any tension out of all of your facial muscles. And release tension out of your ears and the skin on the side of your scalp. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, relax your chin, relax your neck muscles, relax the back of your neck. And then take a nice inhale. Drawing your attention to your shoulders, allow them to sink more deeply into the mat. Widen your collarbones and relax all the muscles across your chest. Inhale. On your exhale, relax your arms and your forearms, your wrists and your hands. Relax your ribs and relax your abdominal muscles. On your next inhale, exhale, relax your lower abdominal muscles. Relax your hip bones. Allow your hips to sink deeply into the floor. Relax your thighs, the skin above your knees. Inhale. And then on your next inhale, relax your calves, your shins, and your ankles. Continue to relax your feet and your toes and the soles of your feet. Imagine any remaining energy or tension is released out of your feet, out of your fingers, out of the crown of the head. So lay here in Shavasana for as long as you desire. I recommend at least 5 minutes. Go ahead and relax, and I will bring you back in with my voice. So let's start to return to the present. Maybe wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Start to create a little bit of movement in your body. And then let's roll over to one side or the other. I'm going to roll over to my left side. And just kind of lay here in a ball with our head resting on top of our left arm or our right arm. It's important to take this time and do it slowly, integrating all the benefits of your practice. Allowing your nervous system to remain calm. And then using the strength of your arms, let's go ahead and rise up. Keep our head lowered though. Find your way into your seated position, into Shavasana. And then on your inhale, we'll lift up your shoulders, lift up the crown of your head, lift up your heart. Thank you for joining me this Saturday morning. I look forward to our power yoga. Tomorrow is yoga in the park outside in Redlands at Sylvan Park. Live music with Stephen, 12 noon. Let's inhale our hands up. Exhale them down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale the hands down. And then inhale our hands up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. The light in me sees the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste. And thank you for coming today.